It's no secret that narcissistic women are experts at manipulating men. They know exactly how to use their charm, intelligence, and beauty to get what they want. While some men might know this from personal experience, others might not even realize that they could be in a relationship with a narcissistic woman. These women have a deep need for control and will stop at nothing to get it. They know exactly what buttons to push to get the response they desire. They can be charming and seductive one minute and cold and calculating the next. They play on your insecurities and emotions, making it difficult for them to see through their mask. And while it may be tempting to think that you won't fall victim to these tactics, even the mentally strongest men can be manipulated by these women. So be aware of these 10 hidden methods they use to control you. Number 1. They give you attention just enough so that you don't suspect anything. This method is a tricky one. Narcissistic women know exactly how to balance their attention towards you. They'll be there, but not entirely. They'll listen, but not completely, creating a sense of mystery and intrigue around them. They often give you just enough attention to keep your interest piqued, but not enough to make you feel secure in the relationship. They might text you sporadically, show up unexpectedly, or flatter you occasionally. This keeps you guessing and on your toes, waiting anxiously for their next move. That's where their control lies. In your anticipation, in their unpredictability. You can't help but think about them, waiting for their next text or the next time you'll see them. This craving for their attention keeps you hooked, making them the center of your universe. This is not about sharing a healthy bond. It's about keeping you under their spell, always guessing, always wanting more. So if you're constantly left wondering where you stand with someone, pay attention. They might be applying this manipulative technique. Number 2. They will twist your words and make you doubt your own reality. You might say something completely innocent, only to have it turned around and used against you. Maybe you have noticed that your words are frequently taken out of context, to the point where you feel like you're walking on eggshells. You start second-guessing everything you say, fearful of how she might twist it. Over time, this constant doubting can make you feel like you're losing your grip on reality. You start questioning your own memory, judgment, and sanity, which is exactly what the narcissist woman wants. It's a powerful control technique that leaves you vulnerable and open to further manipulation. They project their issues onto you, making you feel like you're the one who's got it all wrong. It's their way of keeping you in check, a sick game to maintain control. So if you find yourself always apologizing, even when you know you're in the right, or you're constantly confused by her reactions, you might be a victim of this method. It is subtle but devastating, and it's one of the many ways a narcissistic woman maintains control over you. Number 3. They will excessively compliment you. When you're with a narcissistic woman, you might feel as if you're the greatest person on earth. She will shower you with compliments, making you feel cherished and special. However, this is no innocent admiration. It's a clever manipulation tactic designed to keep you hooked. These compliments can range from your looks, smarts, or any other qualities she notices about you. You might wonder, how can compliments be a bad thing? Well, the twist here is that these compliments usually come with strings attached. They're often followed by a request or an expectation that you will do something in return. Over time, you may find yourself seeking her validation and approval, becoming emotionally dependent on her compliments. You may even start altering your behavior to keep those compliments flowing. It's natural to enjoy being complimented, but when it's used as a tool for manipulation, it's a different story. So if you're with someone who lavishes you with excessive praise only to expect something in return, be aware. You might be dealing with a narcissistic woman. Number 4. They will use silence as a weapon to punish you. Silence can be golden, but when it's used as a tool for manipulation, it's a different story. When upset or wanting to make a point, narcissistic women may give you the cold shoulder. This is not a simple moment of peace. It's a calculated move meant to make you feel guilty or anxious. Unlike a constructive conversation that could sort out issues, this silence leaves you confused and in the dark. It's a power play aimed at making you chase after them, pleading for communication or a resolution. And that's where the trap lies. The more you reach out, the more control they gain. You end up feeling lost, stressed out, always wondering what you did wrong to warrant this icy silence. If you are in a relationship where silence is used as punishment more than peace, it's time to be alert. Everyone deserves open and respectful communication in their relationships. Anything less than that is not fair to you. Number 5. They'll always say they're busy. These women have a knack for making you feel like you're not a priority. One way they do this is by constantly telling you that they're busy. This is more than just having a packed schedule. It's a deliberate tactic to control you. By constantly being too busy, they make you feel like you're always the one needing them, not the other way around. They make you wait, they make you wonder, and in the end, they make you highly appreciative of any time they decide to give you. This imbalance creates a power dynamic where they're always in control. You're left hanging, hoping for their attention, and they know it. This tactic can keep you hooked and constantly seeking their approval. So watch out for this. If you're with someone who's always too busy for you, ask yourself if it's the reality of a busy schedule or a manipulative tactic. True, everyone gets busy, but in a healthy relationship, people make time for each other. Knowing this can save you from getting stuck in a toxic cycle. Number 6. They look sharp in appearance. Men are often lured by the allure of a woman in a tight dress and towering high heels. A narcissistic woman knows this all too well, so she will always be dressed to impress. She knows exactly what to wear, how to wear it, and when to wear it. This is no accident, but a carefully curated image. It's the classic look but don't touch scenario. Her sharp appearance serves a dual purpose. Firstly, it draws you in. Like a moth to a flame, you're fascinated by her. Secondly, it creates a sense of distance. She looks so perfect, so untouchable, that you find yourself desperately wanting to be a part of her world. This is a powerful manipulation technique. She becomes an aspiration, someone you strive to impress and please. You start playing by her rules, too afraid to risk her disapproval. You're caught in her web, and she holds the reins. There's a fine line between admiration and manipulation. An authentic connection is based on more than just appearances. Be sure not to get swept off your feet by a dazzling exterior, only to find a hollow interior. Number 7. They make you feel guilty. Feeling guilty can be a powerful emotion, and it's one that a narcissistic woman can manipulate to her advantage. Picture this. You always feel like the bad guy, even when you've done nothing wrong. This is because they have an uncanny ability to twist situations, making you feel guilty for things that aren't your fault. They'll play the victim, painting a picture where you're the villain in their story. Maybe you didn't respond to a text right away, or you made a casual comment they're twisting into an insult. Regardless of the situation, they're always the ones hurt, and you're always to blame. The guilt can be overwhelming, and it keeps you on a leash. You start walking on eggshells, overly cautious about your actions and words, desperately trying to avoid another guilt trip. But here's the thing. This is all part of their game. The guilt, the blame, the apologies, it's all designed to keep you in line, always trying to make amends. It's a heavy chain to wear, and that's exactly what they want. So if you're always feeling guilty and you're not sure why, take a step back and assess the situation. You might just be entangled in a web spun by a narcissistic woman. Number 8. They cry. While it might seem far-fetched, crying is another effective tactic used by these women to control their partners. These tears may seem heartfelt and genuine, but they are often a calculated move designed to sway the situation in their favor. Narcissists have a unique ability to use their emotions as a weapon, turning on the waterworks at just the right moment to gain sympathy or divert attention from their own wrongful actions. It's a classic diversion technique. By crying, they shift the focus from the topic at hand to their own feelings. The sight of a teary-eyed partner can instill feelings of guilt and a strong urge to console, even when you were previously ready to assert your stance. This behavior isn't about genuine emotional expression, but about control and manipulation. If tears become a recurrent theme every time you attempt to address issues or express dissatisfaction, it's high time to question the authenticity of these emotional outbursts. Number 9. They'll use your feelings for her against you. These women don't exactly fall in love as you might think. They don't make emotional connections the way you do. While you might be expressing your love and affection for them, they're collecting information to use against you. Your deepest fears, insecurities, and desires become their ammunition. They'll use it to tighten their grip on you whenever necessary. By preying on your emotions, they can keep you hooked and under their control. They know exactly what to say or do to make you doubt yourself, question your worth, or feel guilty. While a healthy relationship involves mutual support and understanding, in this case, it's one-sided. They'll take advantage of your feelings without ever reciprocating them. So always be cautious when sharing your vulnerable side with someone new. Make sure they earn your trust before opening up completely. Many men fall victim to these manipulative tactics because they wanted love and affection so badly that they didn't see the red flags. No matter how much she may claim to love you, her true intentions are always self-serving. Of course, this doesn't mean you should avoid being vulnerable altogether, but rather be cautious and aware of how your partner responds to it. If they use it against you, then it's time to question their motives and walk away from her. Number 10. They threaten you with ultimatums. An ultimatum is like a high-stakes poker game, but you're the only one not holding any cards. Narcissistic women know this and use it even in the most mundane situations. It's their way or the highway, leaving you feeling cornered. Maybe it's about the people you hang out with, maybe it's about your career, or maybe it's about your personal choices. The ultimatum always revolves around something important to you, something you can't easily give up. What she's essentially doing is forcing you to choose between her and something or someone you care about. It's a cunning manipulation tactic where she weaponizes your love for her, testing your commitment under the guise of love. But love isn't about giving up parts of yourself. It's about growing together. A narcissistic woman is incapable of true love because she's always putting herself and her needs first. So when faced with an ultimatum, don't fall for the trap. Stand your ground and choose yourself over a toxic relationship. It may be difficult, but it's ultimately the healthiest decision for you.